Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of
WEEZCAST Plus.
I'm your host, Aiden Morton, with co-host
Caleb Chassis
and co-host
Stephen Primler
and returning special guest
Jon Simms. Thank you.
Stand so we look like a
Great
Weezer album cover. Never mind, it's fine. The moment passed.
He couldn't stand. We were standing for him.
Yeah.
I felt like the attention was directed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Standing ovation.
It is good to have
First
you back,
time that's
John.
ever happened, by the way.
Thank you. Well, I'm touched. That means a lot.
It's good to have you back to the show.
Thank you.
Back
It's good to finally be on screen with you too.
Smooth.
That was the best segue we've ever had.
I see what you did there.
I think you earned the right to start us off.
Really? Okay. I don't have much to say, but I'll start off then. I will say this is the most realistic thing to a moon landing we've had so far. And I did enjoy how they really timed the slow motion with Pat with the drumsticks, and it fits perfectly. I enjoyed that, and yeah, that's really all I have to say, but it was a good music video.
John?
Well, I thought the set was really well done in this. I liked how even just the dust, like the look, it felt like the moon, right? You've got the edges of the set kind of fading off into the shadows. It was immersive, it feels like you're really there, whether we were actually there or not. But I agree with Caleb too. I loved the slow-mo. It fit really well with the music. And, even just for the guitar, for the drums, it didn't feel like anything was offbeat. Like they slowed it down to whatever the right tempo was in the video versus the music, and it mixed and blended really well.
True that. Steven?
It looks like they went to the moon, but I have my doubts because they didn't have helmets on, so I don't know how they were breathing. Maybe they just went to the set where they filmed the moon landing and did it there. I don't know. But it did look more real than the moon landing.
That's true.
Well, it's because it was in color.
That's true.
Well, I did notice that they didn't have helmets on, which I didn't notice before, and I thought, I was going to say, like, wow, it's incredible that Weezer are the first people to ever actually go to the moon. But maybe they did just go to where they filmed it then.
You'd think you'd kind of be wheezing if it was that hard to breathe.
Yeah, like their skin wasn't even imploding or anything. Like, I don't really know exactly how space works.
Oh, I forgot there was one other thing.
What?
I noticed that they're each wearing different degrees of, like, temperature clothing. Rivers is wearing a t-shirt, and then, who was it on the electric?
Pat, or
Brian.
Brian was wearing a long sleeve shirt.
Oh.
And then,
Yes,
I can't remember their names now.
Matt
Scott, thank you, was wearing a jacket, and then Pat was wearing, like, a full winter coat.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it was, like, throwing me off at first. I'm like, is it cold on the moon, or is it warm? Or just everything to everyone?
I did notice that Rivers had a name tag that said Sebastian on it, unless that was just
Yeah,
the brand of the shirt, and I wondered what the meaning of that was.
I was really impressed that Neil Armstrong actually cameoed.
I know,
Yeah.
dude, that's crazy.
I couldn't see him in the shot, but I mean, I'm just happy
He was
they
standing
got
behind
him
the
to be
camera.
involved. Yeah.
Probably. But the only stuff I really had to say is mostly what all of you guys already summed up, except for one thing. Because isn't there something with the theories about the moon landing being fake, about how the flag is not, like, waving or something?
No, it is, or...
But it shouldn't be?
No, it is,
'cause-
but it shouldn't be, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
there's
in
no
the
wind
music
on the
video, that's kind of how you maybe can see that it's valid. If it is, I don't know, because I don't know how space works. But the flag was actually like a solid item. It wasn't like a flag that was blowing in the wind. It was like it was just still, like it was a solid thing.
Well, they had like the pole and then the rod, like kind of horizontally across.
Holding the flag.
Yeah, but
So
still,
that
you would
would-
think it would be moving some, but it was like perfectly still. I don't know.
I didn't notice that.
It's just a theory.
It's a good
Weezer
notice.
theory.
A Weez theory?
A WEEZCAST theory.
Sponsor us.
Sponsor us, Rivers Cuomo. And don't tell us to go away.
Wow.
Because we won't. Steven, why don't you start us off with this one? I could see the delight when we were watching it.
Oh, yeah. I was very delighted. This is one of my top Weezer songs of all time. It's a great song. And it's a great video, too. It was, like, hilarious, because he's just trying to get this girl through a dating app for some reason called Winder or Winder, I
think
guess.
it's Winder.
Yeah, because it's Tinder, but with the W instead of the T.
Yeah, that Wonder Woman symbol.
Yeah, that one. Exactly. So he keeps, dressing up in different ways and pretending to be like a different persona, and she doesn't like any of them until he finally decides he's gonna have Pat dress up as a robber to steal her purse so he can rescue it and give it back to her. It's just like the whole thing is hilarious and fun, and the song is great. So, yeah,
It's an absolute win. John, what did you think?
Yep.
I thought it was pretty funny too, just that he's trying all these different ploys to like get the same woman on the dating app, right? But he's kind of like disguised enough that she might not know it's the same guy each time too. So I don't know if he's just remaking his profile, and just under a new name each time. But I did like the moral, or like the message in the end. It's better just to go up and meet someone in person, even if you're just being fake the whole time. That's what stood out to me at least. But I loved the pun with Winder as well. It
Yeah.
really stood out to me. Yeah.
And he's like the only person on it, apparently.
Yeah, true.
those two, they're the only people on it.
Yeah, what's she even doing on there?
She wants him to change.
She wants
I don't know. What did you think, Caleb?
I didn't really write down much for this too, but I will say, if I'm surprised she didn't catch on to it, because why would Rivers just be there out of nowhere, ready to save her? I thought that was really out of place.
She didn't recognize him. He wasn't in costume.
You're not getting what I'm saying. If she's walking along and then a robber comes and Rivers just out of nowhere comes, I feel like I think that that's staged, or at least suspicious.
It could be, but it's in a public area, so he could have just been there.
It would seem like either he was stalking her or what, but
Well,
I mean, people did used to go outside back in the day.
Well, I think it's really neat in this one, because in the music video for if you're wondering if I want you to, they're all competing against each other for the woman to get her. The woman walking through Weezer. Is it Weezerville?
Yeah.
And this one, the boys are helping him out. It's like, Rivers, this one's for you. So yeah, it's nice that the other band members are helping him out, giving him different costumes and stuff. And it's funny when he has like 2 cell phones and he's dressed like a businessman. He's got like all the money he's holding and getting the picture, and he's like yelling business. What was it? What was the words on the screen? Business or no? Buy. He was
Buy, sell.
He's like buy. Not buy as in goodbye, but buy as in purchase.
Although buys and go away would make sense.
True. So yeah, he's like he goes from punk to hip, to businessman, to alcoholic, to hipster, to surfer. And yeah, the person, it's because he's dressed up like a hipster, and then there happens to be a hipster there at the record store, and they're dressed the same. And then he finds a Weezer record, which is crazy, original master recording. I'd love to find one of those. But yeah, and then I thought it was kind of nice when Brian was trying to cheer him up at the end, because he kind of gave up, and he brought him more costume stuff, and he's like all moping under the boardwalk and everything. And it's really funny too how whenever he's like, when he's so done and he's like throwing up his hands and stuff, I don't know, it's kind of sad, but it's also kind of like, I don't know, there's an adorableness to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then also it's funny too, after Pat robs her and then he gets the purse or whatever, and he's like describing like he's punching the air and stuff, and then she gives him a hug, and then Pat's like in the bushes and he mouths "Go away," which is funny because it's the name of the song. So those are the music videos for Everything Will Be Alright in the End. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of
WEEZCAST Plus. My name is...
See you next time.